But we can actually show that Islam is actually polytheistic in its core.
Mormons, of course, are polytheists. Islam, which we often talk about on this program, is actually closer to Christianity than Mormonism, because at least Islam is monotheistic. Islam is monotheistic. Islam is monotheistic.
There are three great monotheistic world religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
But we can actually show that Islam is actually polytheistic in its core.
It was a facepalm moment, okay? It was a facepalm moment.
Muslim theology, basic beliefs, basic practices. Islam is a religion of monotheism. It's based on the principle that there is nothing in creation worthy of worship, that we are all creations of one divine God.
But we can actually show that Islam is actually polytheistic in its core.
Islam is a religion of monotheism. It's based on the principle that there is nothing in creation worthy of worship.
What was it that made you doubt your own faith? Was it only because of the heretic atmosphere that you were brought up with?
What faith you're talking about? Christianity?
Talking about Christianity.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right.
Well, I would say the biggest issue was understanding the Trinity. And I know that's a big issue for a lot of people.
We know that the doctrine of the Trinity took a couple of hundred years to develop. Christians got together in the Council of Nicaea in the year 325, and at that time they ruled that Jesus is very God of very God. And they said, we also believe in the Holy Spirit, but they did not say anything about the Holy Spirit being God or that the Holy Spirit should be worshipped. They had to come back in the Council of Constantinople in 381, and that is when they ruled that the Holy Spirit should also be worshipped along with God the Father and the Son. So that shows a development in the doctrine. If you go back even earlier to the Apostles' Creed, which is from the 2nd century, it doesn't even say the Son is to be worshipped. So now we have three creeds: the Apostles' Creed, 2nd century; Council of Nicaea, early 4th century; Council of Constantinople, late 4th century. So if you see the development, only one God here. Apostles' Creed, 2nd century. Only the Father is God. Second of these we have in the Council of Nicaea, early 4th century. Now the Son is also God. Now we have two. Later in that century, Constantinople, now the Holy Spirit is also God. Now we have three. So it goes from 1 to 2 to 3. It goes from Unitarian to Binitarian to Trinitarian. And still, I say Trinitarian with some qualification, because the idea that how these three can still be one, that this took more time to be worked out. That does not mean that some of the earlier church fathers did not have some inkling of this. Yes, there is development. I've shown that this development started even with the Gospel according to John, and even before the Gospel according to John.
To say that Jesus was God and man at the same time is like saying I saw a square circle. The thing does not exist. For Jesus to be a man, he had to have a human mind. And for him to be God, he had to have a divine mind. Now, the human mind has to know that he's not God. A human mind that thinks that he's God is a madman. But the divine mind has to know that he's not a human being. God couldn't think that he's a human being. And so the two could not really meet. There are two minds in the one person, and that means you do not have a God-man.